Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Quick look here at AVAX, seeing what's going on with this bad boy. It's an interesting little situation. It looks like it's primed and ready to break out, but we need a little bit of more confirmation before we can identify that. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at some larger time frame liquidation levels here and kind of see. I want to give a quick congrats to our community members for some awesome trades here recently. Solana, nice round up 80% in 5 days. Chainlink about 33% in 3 days. Those are some nice little swing trades here recently. And then same thing here as well. We see a lot of scalping trades here. While we did hit one stop loss, we hit a lot of take profit targets. 15, 30, 15, 21%, as well as ETH 15% there. And it looks like our trading bot has a Solana short open here right now at 104. So just, some heads up on that. If you're using that, make sure you reference our signals guide so you understand specifically how that works. It's in our Discord. It's provided during checkout, etc. So check that out in case you're not familiar. It's important to know how to structure your trades effectively, and that's half of trading, honestly, folks. Finding good entries is one, but the other is basically good risk tolerance. Okay, all right. So this is a zoom in, so to speak, of the liquidation levels of the monthly. Okay, so this month, as of this month, because the most recent high, roughly $37 back in January on the 15th-ish, right in that range, we got a lot of late, those are early shorts. They've obviously been holding for too long because they're getting wiped out now at 37.15, but we can see 37.50, upwards of 38, even round number 40 if you round up it completely. We still have some liquidation levels above us, okay? So that's a big picture look here. If you do look at the last 7 days, most of the recent liquidation, minus this area at 37.50/38, has been swept. There's a lot of longs at 34, so keep that in mind too. 34 could be a secondary area there for us. So it's between 34 and 37.50, okay? So just to kind of get perspective, this is a liquidation level above us, and then 34 is right here. Okay, those are generally the two areas that we can see that have a lot of liquidation last 7 days of trading. So why is that relevant? Well, it helps us understand generally the push in whichever direction we could see the bulls or the bears, right? They have a tendency of pushing the price action that way. So let's go ahead and do this here. Let's go ahead and remove this previous fib. We're going to focus on the more recent one. What we're going to do is take a look at some indicators here. A lot of coins are above 70, above 50 on the RSI on the daily, which is good. We're seeing that here as well. Same with Bitcoin too. Money flow index is higher, which is great. And of course, we got stochastic swinging up with a potential downshift here. That doesn't mean a lot just because stochastic swings up or down. It's less impactful on the first time than it is the second time. So if you've seen my videos, you know what I'm talking about. Well, I highlight that if and when that comes later. Right now, though, MACD convergence in the last 3 days. So we've seen bullish behavior on this coin. It's now approaching its average true volume range, if you will, which is kind of what I call it. It's more so just the volume profile being heavily concentrated at $36. And what that tells us is in the last, since December, we've seen the most amount of volume accumulate at that price range. So it is essentially its average true range in a lot of ways. Again, it's slightly different calculation, but this best way to understand it, that's what people feel is a good value. Okay, so if our RSI is above 50 going into that, that's a positive sign, shows we have momentum to possibly continue further. I think that's a stronger likelihood we'll see upside than downside. A lot of this pending on Bitcoin's behavior though. Keep in mind, Bitcoin sells off pretty hard. Same thing for AVAX as well. So not a great thing in that sense to be kind of to be kind of subject to that or prisoner to that, but most coins are doing the same thing right now. But again, keep in mind AVAX is performing slightly better. There's a lot of reasons why we have good confirming factors, so let's talk about that. So let's go ahead and just remove this here because we already kind of know where those liquidation levels are. What we want to look at here and kind of make it simple is these moving averages. So let's kind of zoom in and kind of see. We look at this here, 200-day SMA working like a champ here as a support at 35.50. 20-day SMA working its way up, also concurrent with this ascending trend line, and the others two are trailing behind. So those are all positive factors that really just implies the price should be able to sustain itself in this area because it's blasted through all those resistances. We can also see here as well, the MACD is trying to diverge, but hasn't yet. We got to pay attention to that though. It could. Just implying that that's a possibility here. There's not really much of a bearish divergence on the 4-hour, but we can see this RSI level is lower, and technically this is higher. So that's somewhat of a bearish divergence. I don't read into that too much, but that could imply that we're losing strength. We also can see stochastics trying to swing up for the second time. Is that the second time? Yeah, that's the second time. So we could see more impact. The problem I see with this situation here is the money flow index being so low. Seeing a lot of money flowing away from the coin, or just in the last 14 candles, we've seen less volume than before. So while this volume is nice and beneficial, it's less than it was before, letting us know that this push here could be could be weaker than usual, okay? But what we want to look at is the hourly and kind of confirm, because this has a lot to do with that. Whereas we look at the cloud and kind of just double check, we are above the clouds, running concurrent with those moving averages we discussed previously. We're still above all moving averages on the hourly too, which is great. And if we take a look at TD sequential, we're not really overextended in either direction. So big picture here, if you kind of look at these closures here for candles, this level here that we're at, in fact, I think the 4 hours is probably a better representation of this. We can kind of see that this range here, 0.618 at 36.25, was a heavy point of contention, okay? You can even round up and say 36.40. So with us kind of testing that level, unless we can get past this little guy here, I think we might see some retracement coming up. But more important, if we can close at this 36 level or higher, I think today that would be super, super strong. Because again, we are in a good situation here with this coin, but it's kind of risky business too in a lot of ways, just based on Bitcoin. Okay, I do personally feel like Bitcoin's showing a lot of bullish convergence, and 4250, sorry, 42,500 is essentially a new support for Bitcoin. So as long as we maintain above 42.5, I really think most altcoins are going to be fine. We will see some retracement if Bitcoin pulls back to that level, but I think we're going to see a pivot at that point if it does pull back. Which leads me to the point here is that the pivot point for this coin would be roughly that 0.5 fib at about 34.50, possibly even 35 even. So to me, 34.50 to 35 even is a really good support range there. Ideally, we close at 36 or higher, but if we lose that, those are the two areas in which we could see the price action pull back to and of course recover. Just because those are common retracement levels and essentially some strength there. Again, between 0.5 and 0.618 is typically a lot of consolidation and retracement, but there's a lot of support in that range too. I think AVAX is looking pretty strong. So if you are not familiar with how to trade this coin, honestly, I got walkthroughs on our Discord. I do recommend Bitunix, phenomenal exchange, highly recommended. They are no KYC or VPN required. So if you're in the US or Canada and you're having trouble trading with leverage, look no further. They're awesome. Use my link to register. You get some nice rewards too. Highly, highly recommended. They are phenomenal. We've got an admin in our Discord there that helps out, and they compensate a lot of potential losses here recently when they had some downtime too, and I think that's just commendable. So thanks again, Bitunix, for an awesome opportunity for my community, and thank you as well to you for just being an awesome part of my life. If you're not part of our Discord, jump on over there. It's a really awesome scenario. We have a lot of fun, and there's a lot of intelligence too. So awesome conversations there. Check it out. And once more, if you are part of that community, please read through the signals guide. It's extremely important. You know the difference between premium and my premium plus trades that I share with you in that community there. So again, extremely important you know that. There's a lot of little nuances there, and if you don't know it, you're just kind of shooting in the dark. And that's not what we do here. We like to make sure that you are self-sufficient and you can do this on your own at any given time. I've had a lot of graduates move on to become their full-time thing, and I think that's super awesome. It's a great life personally. Again, I like less stress. That's why swing traders is my thing, but if you're more of a day trader, we got you covered too. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. See you next one. Take care.